about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. Eighth ever meeting between these two schools. In the previous meetings earlier this year, the Gamecocks won 2 out of 3, each team winning on its home floor, and then the Gamecocks winning in the SEC Tournament Championship for the rubber match, if you will. But here you go. You get to play again for the 4th time here on the biggest stage for the sport, the Final Four, the national semifinal game. Should be a lot of fun. As we said, these two teams know each other well. Dawn Staley knows Vic Schaefer, the head coach of Texas, very well, not just from his days here at Texas, with Texas in their first year in the SEC, but of course his years at Mississippi State, where he guided the Bulldogs to back-to-back Final Fours and back-to-back national championship appearances, including 2017 when South Carolina won its first ever national championship, defeating Mississippi State in the title game. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get the starting lineups for you. First for the Texas Longhorns, coming in at 35-3. Of course, they were 15-1 in Southeastern Conference play, co-champions during the regular season with the Gamecocks. They went to the Elite Eight this year, and they broke through to get to the Final Four this year for the first time since 2003, 4th time in program history. As we said, Vic Schaefer in his 5th year at Texas, 20th year as a head coach, 4-time SEC Coach of the Year, including this year. And here's the starting lineup, and you know these names by now. At the point guard, number 3, it's Rory Harmon, the 5'6" senior from Houston, Texas, out of Cypress Creek High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. Missed most of last year with a torn ACL, and boy, she rebounded nicely. Named to the SEC All-Defensive Team this season, also named honorable mention All-American for the 3rd time, averaging 9.3 points, 3.4 rebounds per contest, 2nd in the SEC with 5.9 assists per contest, 7th with 2.2 steals per contest. In fact, she's number 2 in career assists at Texas. Another guard is number 10, Shea Holly, 6-foot, 5th-year senior from Austin, Texas, out of Westlake High School, averaging 6.3 points, 2.3 rebounds per contest. At a forward is number 32, Jackalinga Mwenentanda, 6'2" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where she was a South Dakota Gatorade High School Player of the Year coming out of Washington High School. 5.6 points, 2.9 rebounds per contest. At a forward, it's the SEC Player of the Year, Madison Booker. Booker's 6'1" sophomore from Ridgeland, Mississippi, out of Germantown High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. As we said, SEC Player of the Year, first-team All-SEC, and AP first-team All-American this season. 16.5 points per game to lead the Longhorns, 6.8 rebounds, and distributes the ball as well, 2.7 assists per contest. Has more than 1,200 points in her career, has 14 games this year with 20 or more points and 8 double-doubles. And in the middle, one of their 2 twin towers is Taylor Jones, number 44, the 6'4", 60-year senior out of Forney, Texas. In her 3rd year at Texas after 3 years at Oregon State. Earned honorable mention All-American honors this year. 12.1 points, 6.9 rebounds, and is 2nd in the SEC in block shots. Has 70 of those coming into the game here this evening. Longhorns in their road burnt orange uniforms, white numbers, white trim down the side of the uniform. They'll be moving from right to left here in the first half as we look at them from high above here at Amalie Arena. For Coach Dawn Staley's Gamecocks, 34-3 overall, 15-1 in Southeastern Conference play, SEC regular season co-champions and SEC tournament champions, and making their 7th Final Four appearance and 5th in a row, all under Dawn Staley. And it's the usual suspects in the starting lineup. At point guard, number 25, Raven Johnson, 5'8" redshirt junior from Atlanta, out of Westlake High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American, named to the SEC All-Defensive Team this year. 5 points, 4.4 rebounds, 2.8 assists per contest. Another guard, number 0, is Tahina Powpow, the 5'9" senior from Oceanside, California, out of La Jolla Country Day, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. Transferred from Oregon a couple of years ago. Earned 2nd-team All-SEC honors this year for the 2nd year in a row, as well as AP Honorable Mention All-American honors for the 2nd year in a row. 9.5 points, 2.7 rebounds, 2.9 assists per contest for Powpow. The other guard, number 23, that's Breezy Hall. Hall, the 6' senior from Dayton, Ohio, out of Wayne High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American, averaging 6.2 points, 3.1 rebounds per contest. At a forward is number 21, Chloe Kitts, 6'2" junior from Oviedo, Florida, out of DME Academy, named USBA Honorable Mention All-American this year. Also earned SEC Tournament and Regional MVP honors here in the postseason. So hopefully she can keep rolling as well. Kitts with 10.4 points per game, 8th in the SEC with 7.9 rebounds per contest, has 11 double-doubles on the year. And in the middle, number 20, Sanaya Fagan, 6'3" senior from Ellenwood, Georgia, out of Forest Park High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American, named to the SEC All-Defensive Team this year for the Gamecocks, averaging 8.1 points, 4.6 rebounds per contest, 6th in the SEC in block shots. Gamecocks in the alternate home white uniforms, the garnet numbers trimmed in black, and the garnet and gold trimmed down the side of the uniform, the homage to khaki, if you will, uniforms. And they will be moving from left to right here in the first half away from their bench. Again, we are seated in the mezzanine level up high behind the Carolina bench and kind of off to the corner. Your officials for this evening's contest, some familiar names: Brenda Pantoa, Tiffany Bird, and Kyle Bacon. Your three-person officiating crew for this semifinal matchup. The winner is on to Sunday's national championship game, which will be at 3 o'clock between the winner of our second game tonight between UConn and UCLA. Want to remind you that Backstreet's Grill, our host of Carolina Calls, is a proud partner of Gamecock Athletics. Backstreet's features a wide selection of wine and local craft beers, scratch-made food, and a family-friendly atmosphere. Proudly owned and operated by Gamecock alumni, located at 2400 Devine Street, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, with brunch on Sundays at 11:30. Let Backstreet's cater your next tailgate. So here we go, teams huddled around their benches as we get set for basketball here. The Final Four. Gamecocks here for the 5th year in a row, 7th time since 2015. Texas here for the first time since 2003, and the fourth time overall. Update on some Carolina games in progress. Gamecock softball playing at home against 19th-ranked Ole Miss, still scoreless in the bottom of the 4th inning, and just underway in Starkville, South Carolina at Mississippi State tonight to open the series there. Top of the 1st inning, no score there. South Carolina batting in the top of the 1st. Gamecocks break their huddle first. Out to the jump circle is Chloe Kitts. And we'll see when Texas breaks their huddle. You expect Taylor Jones, the big post player, to be in the middle for them. Again, they got the good size with Jones. Kyla Oldacre comes off the bench, the big 6'6". Post. You rarely see them on the floor at the same time. Waiting for TV to give us permission to light this candle, and we'll get rocking and rolling in just a moment. The crowd's ready. Good crowd, as we said. Over 21,000 will be here tonight to watch these national semifinal matchups. Texas breaks their huddle, and it will be Taylor Jones, the 6'4", 6-year, to the circle. Texas with a distinct height advantage. Lead official to the jump circle. Ball in the air. Tip is controlled by Texas, moving right to left. And we're underway here at the Final Four. Texas moving right to left in their burnt orange. Gamecocks, as usual, in the man-to-man. Back to the top of the circle it comes. On the left side, Madison Booker, guarded by Breezy Hall. Feed it top of the circle to Harmon. Rory Harmon guarded by Raven. Feed it down low to Holly. At the free throw line is the big girl, Jones. Back to Harmon. Shot clock under 10. Trying to drive the lane left side, cut off there, turnaround jumpers and air ball, but they get the rebound underneath. Follow-up shot was blocked, late whistle, and a foul, unfortunately. Taylor Jones, the big 6'4" post, got the offensive board, and I think Kitts got her from behind, and that's right into the playbook that Coach Staley was concerned about. Got to keep Chloe Kitts out of foul trouble, and first 30 seconds of the game, she picks up her first. At the free throw line, Taylor Jones, and she'll hit the first one, and that'll start the scoring here. Second free throw upcoming for Jones, 77% on the year. And she hits both of them. So 2-0 Texas here to start. Gamecocks on their first possession. We'll see that pressure in the backcourt. Texas really turned up the pressure against TCU. Trying to double team in the backcourt. Raven able to get it off to Chloe Kitts, who brings it across on the far side. Man-to-man coverage here for Texas. Kitts still top of the circle. Feeds it inside to Fagan, threw it away. They denied the post-entry pass. Texas comes out of there on a turnover, and then Raven steps into the passing lane and knocks it out of bounds to prevent a layup. Couldn't keep her hands wrapped around it, so not the start you were looking for. The foul on Kitts and then a turnover on your opening possession on a forced post-entry pass. Longhorns will bring it in baseline right side. Get it into Booker at the free throw line. 15-foot jumper is good, and it's 4-0 Texas. The SEC Player of the Year with the first field goal of the night for Texas. Here's Fagan. Dribbling left, pressured by Jones. Trying to go baseline. Drives past one defender, puts it up, and they're going to get her for an offensive foul. Oh, my. Crowd doesn't like it. So second straight turnover for the Gamecocks. First foul on Fagan. And the two Gamecock forwards have picked up a foul in the first minute of this contest. So 2 turnovers, no points, and it's 4-0 Texas with the basketball. Not the start you're looking for. Rory Harmon will bring it up on Raven Johnson. Gets it across the timeline. Passes left to Jones. Jones back up top. One in Tonda. Now Harmon on the other side. Raven picks her up defensively. Shot clock halfway down. Back up top. Ball knocked loose by Pow Pow. Pow Pow breaking free. One girl to beat. She will drive, shoot, and score. And the Gamecocks are on the board as Pow Pow will start the scoring, using the defense to create some offense. It's 4-2 Texas with a minute and a half gone by. Here's Harmon across the timeline. Dribbling right, bounce pass to the right to Booker. Back up top, one in Tonda. Guarded by Kitts, drives the lane left side and rolls it up and in around a nice screen from Jones, and it's 6-2. Gamecocks trail here. 8:12 to play in the opening quarter. Here's Pow Pow right side. Around a screen to the top of the circle. Bounce pass to Fagan. Halfway down the lane. Trying to work against the big girl Jones. Fadeaway jumper left short. Kitts with the offensive rebound and then had it stolen away by Rory Harmon. 6-2 Texas. 2 minutes gone by. Harmon drives into the lane. Left side. Raven cuts her off. She'll pull it back up top and settle into the half court. Man-to-man coverage. Ball knocked away. Stolen by Raven Johnson. Raven driving the length of the floor. One girl to beat. Puts it off the window. No good. Missed the layup under pressure. And it goes back to Texas. Oh, missed opportunity there. Gamecocks come up with a couple of steals. And that time Raven couldn't convert it into points. Here's Harmon around the screen to her right. Back to Booker at the free throw line. 15-footer is good. She's hit both from that spot. And the Gamecocks in an early hole here. 8-2. Booker with 4 points. They kept Booker under control in the 3 previous meetings. She was under 30% shooting in all 3 meetings, but she's hit a couple of 15-footers here early. And it's a 6-point lead for Texas. Here's Breezy Hall driving into the land of Giants. Has her shot blocked. Saves it from going out of bounds. Kicking out to Raven for 3 from the corner. Too strong off the iron. Lost out of bounds off the Longhorns. It'll be Carolina ball. Let's see if the Gamecocks can settle it down. Chloe Kitts out. Joyce Edwards will check in, the freshman, who has struggled mightily here in the postseason. See if she can get something going. Gamecocks will bring it in baseline right side. Raven to do the honors. Trailing 8-2 here early with 3 minutes gone by. Here's Fagan up top. Works it left side to Pow Pow. 3 seconds to shoot it. Joyce Edwards drives, shoots, doesn't score, and a rebound to Texas. Got everything but the finish there. Here come the Longhorns the other way. Harmon driving into the lane, gets her man in the air, pulls up from 12 feet, missed it short. Pow Pow gets the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. And they're going to call an offense. Are they going to call an offensive foul on Pow Pow? Or did she step on the baseline out of bounds? Must have stepped on the baseline. So 3rd turnover already by the Gamecocks. Not a good start. Trailing 8-2 with 6:39 to play in the first quarter. Holly will bring it in on the baseline for the Longhorns. Underneath the basket. Gets to Harmon on the other side. Wide open pull-up jumper is good. And the Gamecocks trail 10-2. Somebody lost the point guard, Harmon. And the Gamecocks in a big hole here. Longhorns are 4-6 from the floor. There's Pow Pow left side. Trying to create. Lobs it in for Joyce Edwards. Fighting through a double team. Pulls it back out. Lobs it to Fagan on the other side. Sanaya Fagan will lay it up and in. Fagan gets the bucket from underneath, and the Gamecocks finally back into the scoring column. It's 10-4. First points for Fagan. 6:06 to play in the opening quarter. All Texas here early with the 6-point lead. 4 minutes gone by. Jones up top, passes to the right, someone in Tonda. Guarded by Joyce Edwards. Shot clock halfway down. Ball knocked free, but Jones recovers. Pull-up jumper no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds off the Longhorns. It'll be Carolina ball. We'll get some subs in. Miriam Dowda checks in for the first time, the junior from Bentonville, Arkansas. We'll check in for Fagan. Also checking in for the first time, Alasia Fulwiley, the sophomore from Columbia, who earned second-team All-SEC honors and 6th Woman of the Year as well, averaging 11.9 points per game. She picks up Pow Pow. Carolina ball facing full court pressure, trailing 10-4 here, not quite midway through the first quarter. Raven playing catch with Joyce Edwards. It'll be Raven to get it across. Work it right side to Edwards. Back up top, here's Dowda. Tight man-to-man coverage by the Longhorns. Shot clock halfway down. Dowda trying to drive into the lane left side. Spins to her right, jumper up, rattles out, no good. Had a good look, couldn't knock it down. Here come the Longhorns the other way, leading by 6. 5.5 minutes to play. Booker, bounce pass in the corner to Harmon, drives the baseline, zips it up top to Mwenentanda. Reversal to Booker in the baseline near side. Her jumper is good. She's 3 for 3. And the Gamecocks trail 12-4. Booker with 6 points. He's at all 3 of her jumpers, and the Gamecocks cough it up again. Another turnover, and a chance for the Longhorns to build a double-digit lead here in the first quarter. As we're midway through the first frame, it's 12-4 Texas. Rory Harmon, guarded by Raven, dribbling to her right, passes right to Booker. Ball knocked free, goes loose into the backcourt, where it'll be picked up by Harmon, and that's an over and back. It'll be South Carolina ball. So South Carolina, unfortunately, very sloppy start here. Just 2 out of 8 from the floor and 4 turnovers in the first 5 minutes plus. 12-4, Texas leads it here with 4:52 to play in the opening quarter. Parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. SEC Player of the Year, Madison Booker, who's hit all 3 of her shots. Booker, who is really ineffective in the 3 games against the Gamecocks earlier this year, shot under 30% in each of the games. She did have 20 points in 1 game, but again was very inefficient in the shooting, a volume shooter. But today, she's hasn't missed. 3 for 3 for 6 points to lead all scorers. Gamecocks have buckets from Tahina Paopao and Sanaya Fagan. Gamecocks in the white uniforms with the gold and garnet trim. Texas in their burnt orange uniforms. On the floor as play resumes, Gamecocks go to their bench. Tessa Johnson checks in, the sophomore from Albertville, Minnesota, averaging 8.3 points per game. She joins Miriam Dowda, Malaysia Fulwiley, Raven Johnson, and Joyce Edwards. Carolina ball as play resumes. We'll bring it in the forecourt across the way on the sideline. Tight pressure defense again by the Longhorns. Edwards got to get somebody to come back to the basketball, able to get it into Raven on the other side with a dangerous floating pass. Work it right side to Dowda. Back up top, Joyce Edwards driving in the lane with the left hand. Bumped, and finally we get the whistle, and that'll send Joyce to the line if they say she was in the act of shooting. Put the foul on Rory Harmon. The senior for Texas picks up her first, and Edwards will go to the line for a pair. Got to get Joyce involved. She has really struggled the last 3 games of this NCAA tournament. Joyce, the freshman, named first team All-SEC, coming off the bench. Now the officials discussing something. And they're going to say she was not in the act of shooting. So instead, it'll be Carolina ball on the baseline. I think that's probably the right call, but you would like the free throw attempts from Joyce, who's a 78% foul shooter. So Raven triggers it in up top to Dowda, and we're back underway. Dowda, top of the circle, puts it on the floor, needs some help. Hands it off to Fulwiley, stumbles, able to regain her footing. Work it on the near side. Tessa dribbling left, shot clock under 10. Tessa Johnson dribbling back to her right, into the lane, floats it and threw it out of bounds. We're looking for Raven Johnson cutting across the baseline. Goes out of bounds. 5 turnovers for the Gamecocks in 5.5 minutes for the play is not a good recipe. Texas basketball leading 12-4. Chance to build the lead up to double digits here in the first quarter. Harmon across the timeline, dribbling right. And whistle away from the ball. And another foul on South Carolina. Trying to work through a screen. That'll be on Tessa Johnson, her first. Four fouls on the game, or third foul on the Gamecocks here in the first quarter. They triggered up top to Harmon. We're back underway. Guarded by Raven. Dribbling to her left. Passes left to Booker on the baseline. Offensive foul on Texas. On the screen set by Jones, I believe. Taylor Jones will pick up the foul. Her first and the second on the Longhorns. Carolina ball trailing 8. Got to trigger it in. Someone's got to come back to it. Raven finally does, trying to avoid the double team. Gamecocks 2 for 8 shooting, 5 turnovers here in the first quarter. We've played 6 minutes, trailing by 8. Here's Tessa up top, around a screen to her right. Tessa had Dowda open, but takes it to the rack herself, rolls it up, no good. Dowda gets the rebound, spins, shoots, and it's fouled, and she'll go to the line. Big offensive board there. And now the Gamecocks with an opportunity from the free throw line for the first time today. So Dowda getting some early playing time here, coming off the bench. The transfer from Arkansas. averaging just 2 points a game. Trying to snap this little run by the Longhorns. And she hits the first one. Down to 78% on the year, makes it 12-5. One more time, and second one off the rim, no good. We fight for the rebound, can't get it. Edwards had it, but rolls off her fingertips. So just 1 out of 2 there, and the lead is still 7 for Texas with 3:50 to play in the opening quarter. Longhorns will bring it up. Harmon, guarded by Raven Johnson. Up top it comes Mwenentanda, hands it off to Booker, coming around the screen. Now left side, Harmon. Into the corner, Mwenentanda. Feeds it back out up top, shot clock halfway down. Harmon dribbling right. Feeds it right side, Shea Holly drives the baseline, throws the ball inside. Ball knocked loose. It's still loose. Gamecocks come out of there with it. Edwards on the break. It's got Booker in front of her. Hop step in the lane. She will put it up, no good, but a blocking foul called, and that'll send Joyce to the line. Wasn't sure which one that one was going to go, but it goes for Carolina. Gamecocks will try to trim the deficit from the free throw line. Booker thought she had position. Here's Edwards at the line looking for her first points. Gamecocks really struggled with their free throws in that win against Duke the other night in the Elite Eight. Joyce hits the first one for her first points. 78% foul shooter. Makes it 12-6. 3:25 to play here in the opening quarter. Second free throw, got them both. And the lead is trimmed to 5. 3 straight free throws for the Gamecocks to try to claw their way back into this thing. Texas basketball. Harmon will bring it across the timeline, guarded by Raven in the man-to-man. Up top, Mwenentanda. Guarded by Joyce, dribbling to her right. Zips it on the near side. Harmon drives the baseline. Pull-up jumper, swatted away by Raven Johnson. It goes out of bounds off of Harmon. Carolina ball. What a defensive play there by Raven Johnson, a member of the SEC All-Defensive Team. And the Gamecocks, faithful down below us, on their feet. Pressure in the backcourt as Tessa looks to bring it up. Here's Tessa driving right side. Oh, big bump there by Booker. That's 2 on Booker. Tessa flew past the SEC Player of the Year, and she just gave her a shove. That's 2 on the SEC Player of the Year. Her in the first quarter, she'll have to come out. We'll get Tina Pow back into the contest. Checking in for them, Jordan Lee, the freshman from Stockton, California, the freshman guard. We'll also get big Kyla Oldacre in for the first time, the big 6'6 junior from Mason, Ohio, averaging 9 points and 6 rebounds. Tessa Johnson at the free throw line for the Gamecocks, with the Gamecocks trailing by 5. First one is good for Tessa's first points, 80% free throw shooter on the year. 3:04 to play in the quarter, and Tessa hits them both, and the Gamecocks have cut it to 3. 5 free throws in a row for the Gamecocks to get back in this thing. Gamecock fans on their feet here, trying to encourage the defense to get another stop. Harmon dribbling to her right around a screen. Working on Pow, drives into the lane. Pull-up jumper, got it. Nice smooth stroke off the dribble to break that little run by the Gamecocks. She's got 4 points, and the lead extends to 5 at 14-9. Joyce Edwards across the timeline with it for the Gamecocks. Top of the circle, hands it off to Fulwiley. Fulwiley, stop and go dribble up top. Driving the lane left side, in traffic, floats it off the glass and in. Malaysia Fulwiley with her first points. The Gamecocks within 3. Needed that as Malaysia does what she does best and gets to the rim. First points for the sophomore. Here come the Longhorns the other way as the Gamecocks have again cut it to 3. At the free throw line, pull-up jumper by Lee. And a foul on the jumper is going to put him at the line. Put the foul on Miriam Dowda, her first. And 4th team foul on the Gamecocks. But in the act of shooting was Lee, the freshman from Stockton, California. McDonald's High School All-American, named to the SEC All-Freshman team this year. 71% from the line, but she misses the first one. Now 20 out of 29 on the season. Averaging just under 6 points per game. A good 3-point shooter as well. Second free throw. Got that one to go. Makes it 15-11. The lead up to 4 for Texas. Gamecocks want to get going in transition. They've got Dowda down the floor, but she walked with it. The pass from Fulwiley led her too far. And she shuffled the feet under the basket. So another turnover by the Gamecocks, the 6th of the first quarter. Gives it right back to Texas with the ball on a 4-point lead. Here's Oldacre left side, guarded by Dowda. Gets it off to Mwenen-Tunda, guarded by Joyce Edwards. Now up top, Rory Harmon, guarded by Tahina Paopao. Shot clock at 13. Zip it right side. Holly fakes the three, tries to drive, back out to Harmon. Shot clock under 10. She'll drive the lane right side on Paopao. Shot was partially blocked. Rebound, Dowda, and the Gamecocks have it. Outlet to Paopao. Paopao weaving through defenders. Right side, tries to go baseline. Underneath the basket. In a world of hurt there. It's going to be tied up. Held ball. Possession will remain with the Gamecocks. But that's one for Paopao. You either got to go up with it or dish it quickly. You can't dribble into those tall trees of Texas and pick up your dribble in the middle of the lane. You either got to shoot it or give it up. Up top it comes to Joyce Edwards. Joyce needs some help. Gets it off to Fulwiley. Fulwiley, 3-ball left side. Bang! Got it! 3-pointer by Malaysia Fulwiley, and the Gamecocks within one. 1:19 to play in the quarter, and Lay dials long distance, first 3-ball of the day for the Gamecocks. For Fulwiley, her 32nd of the year. Driving in the lane, Mwenen-Tunda, and she splits a couple of Gamecock defenders and gets it to go, and the Gamecocks trail by 3 now, 17-14 with a minute to play in the opening quarter. Here's Joyce Edwards driving in the lane, dishes it off to Dowda. Dowda in the lane, back underneath to Joyce. Pump fake, puts it up and in, and the Gamecocks again within one. Excellent footwork and movement there by Joyce Edwards, and the Gamecocks have cut it to 1 at 17-16 with 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. Mwenen-Tunda drives in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball away by Lee, no good. Oldacre got the rebound, knocked down Dowda. That's got to be a foul on Oldacre, isn't it? Whistle with 32.8 seconds to go. They both went down in a heap, and yeah, that's going to be... Are they going to put that on Dowda? Are you kidding me? Oldacre was behind her. Dowda had position. Oldacre was behind her, went over her back, and they collapsed to the floor, and they've got the foul on Dowda? You've got to be kidding me. Oh, my. I don't know how that's possible. Crowd doesn't like it, and I don't blame them. Dowda had position. Oldacre was behind her, went over the back, and they got Dowda for the foul. And now Oldacre will be at the line for 2 on the second foul for Dowda. Make that make sense. That's brutal. So here's Oldacre at the stripe. Hits the first one to make it 18-16. Gamecocks were walking down the other end of the floor. They thought they were getting to shoot free throws. Second free throw from Oldacre. Got them both. Back to a 3-point lead for Texas. Breezy Hall back in. Dowda comes out. Tough luck, second foul there. I'm still not sure about that one. Carolina ball down 3. 32.8 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Pressure in the backcourt. Edwards will bring it up. Gamecocks have never led here. Edwards will get it across. Gamecocks willing to trickle the clock down a little bit here. Got a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Joyce still has it up top. Drives into the lane right side. Floats it high off the glass and in. And the Gamecocks within 1. 19-18. Joyce Edwards. 5 seconds to play. Here come the Longhorns. Harmon at the free throw line. Back out left side. 3-ball away. Air ball, and that's how the first quarter will end. Gamecocks overcome a sluggish start. Trailed by as many as 8. They've cut it to 1 at the end of the first quarter. 10 minutes in the books. Second stanza coming up in just a moment. Texas leading South Carolina here at the Final Four, 19-18. Parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. This women's basketball postseason broadcast proudly presented by Deotis on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. 13 for 46%. They hit their lone 3-point attempt, 5 out of 6 from the foul line as well. Gamecocks a slight edge rebounding 8-7, but a lot of turnovers. 5 for the Gamecocks there in that first frame. Got to take better care of the basketball. See what the Gamecocks can dial up here in the second quarter. South Carolina has never led. Longhorns led by as many as 8 at 12-4. Gamecocks have kind of spread things around. Led by Joyce Edwards off the bench with 6 points. 5 points for Malaysia Fulwiley. 6 points for Madison Booker for Texas to lead them. 4 apiece for Rory Harmon and Jackalingua Mwenentunda. Great crowd here. 3-deck arena here. That is the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning NHL franchise. Holds a little more than 21,000, and it's a packed house here. We are seated in the mezzanine level, up high in the corner behind South Carolina's bench. So if you're watching it on TV, we're kind of off to the right and up from South Carolina's bench. A lot of Gamecock garnet and black behind South Carolina's bench. A lot of Texas burnt orange on the other corner. And then a lot of other fans just kind of spread out throughout this arena. On the floor for the Gamecocks to start the second quarter, it's Tessa Johnson, Tahina Paopao, Breezy Hall, Sanaya Fagan, and Joyce Edwards. It'll be Texas ball moving right to left to start the second quarter. And we're underway. Rory Harmon will bring it up. Gamecocks in the man-to-man. Up top, Mwenentunda. Guarded by Edwards. Passes left to Preston. Brianna Preston, the backup point guard, in there with Harmon as well. Harmon on the dribble into the lane. Bounce pass to the left to Preston. Driving in the lane right side. 10 to shoot it. Puts it up. No good. Little bank shot and rebound to Joyce Edwards. Gamecocks have it. Looking for their first lead of the night. Up top it comes to Fagan. Now left side, Breezy Hall on the dribble. Breezy around a screen to her left. Cut off on the corner. On the pick and roll inside to Edwards. Fumbles but recovers. Needs some help. Zips it into the corner. Back inside to Fagan. Fagan off the window. No good. Tried to get it over the outstretched arms of big 6'6" Kyla Oldacre to prevent the block. Couldn't do it. And the Longhorns come out of there with it. Still 19-18 Texas. Mwenentunda driving into the lane. Across to the left. Passes left corner. They lob it down low to big Oldacre. Guarded by Fagan. Trying to back her way in. Spins and Fagan knocks it out of her hands. Ball's loose. Tessa Johnson comes out of there with it. Gamecocks have it. Tessa in traffic. Gets it off to Paopao. Paopao 3-ball right wing. Bang! Got it. And the Gamecocks have their first lead. 21-19 as Tahina Paopao hits her 57th of the year. 8:45 to play in the second quarter. Gamecocks with their first lead. Needed that. That got the crowd into it as well. Here come the Longhorns. Up top, Mwenentunda. Work it right side to Harmon. Back left side, good look at a three for Lee. Missed it short, but they got the rebound in the near corner. Mwenentunda on the dribble drive. Kicks it back out. Lee again wide open for three, and she buries that one. Had 2 wide open looks, and she hits her 40th of the year to put Texas back on top, 22-21. Somebody got lost defensively because the best three-point shooter on the team had 2 wide open looks in about 5 seconds. Kicking out right side to Paopao. 15 on the shot clock. Paopao dribbling back to the top of the circle, guarded closely by Harmon in the man-to-man. Shot clock at 10. Now back to her left. Zipped it inside to Joyce Edwards. Puts it up and won't go down, but she was fouled and will go to the line. See how they put that one on. Still waiting as the officials coming over to the scorer's table. Didn't see who it was on. Either way, the Gamecocks will be at the line to try to tie this thing up. Joyce Edwards at the line. The freshman dips, shoots, makes the first one, and we're tied at 22. Joyce with 7 points here in the first half. Foul was on Jordan Lee, apparently, as Joyce hits them both, and that gives the Gamecocks the lead again, 23-22. We'll get Chloe Kitts back into the contest. She'll pick up Edwards, who exits with 8 points, by far her best start in the last 4 games. So good to see that. Back in for the Longhorns, Shea Holly, their starting shooting guard. We want to get Raven back into the contest as well. And she'll pick up Breezy Hall. So on the floor for the Gamecocks, Johnson and Johnson, Raven and Tessa, Paopao, Kitts, and Fagan. Texas ball moving right to left. Gamecocks lead at 23-22. 7:50 to play in the second quarter. Longhorns across the timeline with it. Harmon guarded by Raven. Passes right to Holly. Holly zips it up top to Jones. The big post passes left to Lee, who hit that three a moment ago. Around a screen, on the pick and roll inside, and threw it away. Was trying to get Jones on the pick and roll, and she threw it to her left. Jones looking for it more to the right towards the center of the lane. Gamecocks have it on the turnover, facing full court pressure. They get it into Tessa. Gamecocks lead is just one. Tessa across the timeline, looks back to Coach Staley for the play. Man-to-man coverage by Jordan Lee. Tessa on the dribble up top, trying to drive into the lane of Giants. Spins, kicks it back out to Pow. Now right side to Raven. Raven driving with the left hand, cut out. Now to Kitts. Kitts will drive the lane, fumbles, and had the ball knocked out of her hands as she falls to the floor, out of bounds to Texas. And the turnovers continue to pile up. That's 7 for Carolina here in the first half. They just cannot hold on to the basketball. The last 3 games, well over their season average in turnovers. 7 minutes to play in the half. Gamecocks lead at 23-22. Texas with the basketball. To Jones, right side, guarded by Kitts. Back up top to Oldacre, the 6'6 post player. Work it right side. Ball knocked free by Pow. Loose in the backcourt. Goes out of bounds to Carolina. What an effort by Pow. Knocked it free. And in the scramble for it goes out of bounds by the Longhorns. That's twice today. We've seen Pow use her defense to set up the Gamecocks. Part of the seatbelt gang now after her 4 blocks earlier in this tournament. We'll get Fulwiley back into the contest. She'll pick up Tessa Johnson. Fulwiley had back-to-back buckets, a 3 and a 2 early in that first quarter that helped spark the Gamecocks, who trailed early by 8. Still 23-22 Carolina. Raven to trigger it in. Gets it into Fulwiley, and we're underway. Up top, Pow. Passes right, gets it back. Dribbling right is Pow. Working on Harmon. Into the lane, zips it out, and tried to save it from going out of bounds was Fulwiley, but threw it to one of the Longhorns. Bad pass by Pow. It's another turnover. Texas with the basketball. Tunda, left elbow. Works it right side to Harmon. Gets her man in the air. Pulls up from 12 feet. Rolls off the rim, no good. Raven skies for the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. Here comes Raven in transition. Gets it back to Pow. To Raven right side. Zips it down low to Fagan. Beats her man and lays it up and in. Outstanding ball movement. And the Gamecocks lead 25-22. Great ball movement there by the Gamecocks. 6:12 to play in the first half. Gamecocks with a 3-point lead after trailing by 8. Here come the Longhorns the other way. Up top it comes to Holly. Guarded by Pow. Bounce pass to the left to Lee. 12 seconds to shoot it. She'll drive into the lane. Spins to her left, knifing her way off the glass with the shot and in. And the lead trimmed to 1 at 25-24. 5:50 to play in the second quarter. Here's Fulwiley driving into the lane with the right hand. Pull-up jumper is good. She's got 7, and the Gamecocks lead 27-24. Fulwiley, nice stroke off the dribble there. Approaching the midpoint of the second quarter. Here's Harmon right side, guarded by Fulwiley. Bounce pass to the right to Jordan Lee, guarded by Raven. Back up top, Tunda. Near side to Holly. Holly looking inside, back up top, Harmon. Comes around a screen, finds Jordan Lee wide open on the baseline, and she buries a long 2. And the lead is trimmed 27-26. Raven late getting over there, leaving Jordan Lee, one of their best perimeter shooters, wide open for the third time. Midway through the second quarter, Gamecocks lead is 1 at 27-26. Here's Fulwiley up top. Shot clock halfway down. Trying to drive, fumbles but recovers. Passes left to Fagan, and tried an entry pass to Kitts, who looked like was being held, but threw it out of bounds. And it's another turnover for the Gamecocks. 9 first-half turnovers. Gamecocks cannot continue this pace. There's way too many turnovers. Fagan out, Joyce Edwards back in. Breezy Hall back in, Tahina Pow out. Just way too many turnovers these last 3 games for the Gamecocks. And a lot of them unforced, like that one. Just throwing it too far on these post-entry passes. Texas with the basketball. Gamecocks lead is 1. We're midway through the second. Here's Preston dribbling right. Passes right side to Booker. Booker in there with 2 fouls. Work it left side to Holly. Bounce pass down low to Jones. Ball knocked out of her hands, but she recovers. Zips it back up top with 10 to shoot it. Here's Preston. Around a screen to her right. It opens 4, and she's going to get a layup, and that puts Texas in front. And once again, the Gamecocks look confused on defense. It's 28-27. Texas leads. And did we get a foul on the inbound, or was this a warning? It'll send us to a timeout. We'll find out when we come back. 4:33 to play in the second quarter. Texas regains the lead, 28-27. This women's basketball postseason broadcast proudly presented by Deotis on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. Averaging only about 12 per game, and then the last couple of games they've really been stacking up. Had 18 in their win over Maryland in the Sweet 16, 19 turnovers in the win over Duke. It's dangerous recipe for success. On the floor for the Gamecocks, Breezy Hall, Malaysia Fulwiley, Raven Johnson, Chloe Kitts, and Joyce Edwards. Edwards leading the Gamecocks with 8 points. Fulwiley has 7. Jordan Lee leading the Longhorns with 8. Madison Booker with 6. Carolina ball as play resumes, moving left to right. Have to go the length of the floor, facing some pressure in the backcourt. See if someone else comes back as Raven is closely guarded. We're able to get it into her, and we're underway. Raven steams across the logo, and will settle into the half-court set here. Man-to-man defense for the Longhorns. Raven dribbling to her left. Texas really gets in your face. Lob it down low to Fulwiley on the right baseline. Got Booker in front of her. It's a tall player to shoot over. Gets it inside to Kitts, and Kitts is fouled from behind underneath the basket. Going to put that on Brianna Preston. The freshman picks up her second. Third team foul on Texas, and the Gamecocks will have it. They'll bring it in baseline right side, trying to reclaim the lead here. Raven to trigger it in. Goes up top to Joyce, and we're underway. Joyce looking inside for a cutter. That's Kitts. Up fake and lays it up and in. Nicely done by Chloe Kitts. Kitts with her first points, and the Gamecocks reclaim the lead. 29-28 with 4:01 to play in the second quarter. Here comes Preston the other way, dribbling right, passing right to Lee. Lee guarded by Kitts on the switch. Drives into the lane. Pull-up jumper is good. Jordan Lee with 10 first-half points gives Texas the lead again, 30-29. She's doubling her season average here in the first half. Here's Fulwiley, right wing three, back rimmed it, no good. Rebound to the Longhorns. That was way too early in the shot clock for that. But they left her open, so she gave it a whirl. Give it inside to the big girl Jones, and she'll lay it up and in over Kitts, and it's a 3-point lead for Texas now, 32-29. Gamecocks need to stop this momentum. Lee with 10 points for them. She only had 4 points in the 3 other games against the Gamecocks combined, all 4 of those coming in the meeting in Austin. But she's got 10 here in the first half. Here's Edwards driving in the lane, floats it up, rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound to Booker of Texas. 3-point lead for the Longhorns, looking for more. Feed it to Booker. She'll pull up for 3 left side. In and out, no good. Rebound Joyce, and the Gamecocks have it. Long out with to Breezy Hall. One girl to beat. She will lay it up and in. And the Gamecocks get within 1 as they got their transition offense going. Beat the Longhorns down the floor. Gamecocks trail now 32-31 with 2:50 to play in the second quarter. First points for Breezy Hall. Here's Preston dribbling to her right. Guarded by Raven Johnson. Bounce pass to the right to Booker. Guarded by Breezy. Shot clock down to 9. Booker trying to drive the baseline. Pulls up from 6 feet. No good, but they're going to get a foul on the Gamecocks, and that'll send Booker to the line. Booker with 6 first-half points, all coming early as she hit her first 3 jumpers. The SEC Player of the Year will go to the line for a pair here as Breezy Hall picked up the foul. It was her first and the team's first. Tessa Johnson in, Malaysia Fulwiley out. Sanaya Fagan in, Chloe Kitts out for the Gamecocks. And here's Booker at the line where she's been very good. 83% on the year, is 5th in the SEC. The SEC Player of the Year averaging 16.5 points per game. First free throw is good. And she'll try to make it a 3-point lead here with another free throw. Booker takes a deep breath. And missed it short. Rebound Joyce Edwards. Gamecocks have it, trailing by 2. Quickly down the floor to Tessa Johnson, who was fouled by Booker, and that is 3 on Madison Booker. It was a high pass to Tessa, and Booker crashed into her on the right wing, and the SEC Player of the Year just picked up her 3rd foul. She'll come out as Mwenan Tanda will come in for her. So Carolina ball off the foul. Now you got to score and make them pay. We'll bring it in front of the scorers table next to the Texas bench. Raven Johnson to do the honors. 2:29 to play in the half. Gamecocks down a bucket here, 33-31. Raven gets it into Fagan, right corner. Fagan looking inside, got Breezy Hall in the low block, gets her man in the air, puts it up and in, and we're tied. Could have gotten an and one on that. That's what Coach Staley's arguing. But the Gamecocks get the bucket. And we're tied at 33. 2:14 to play in the first half. Around a screen comes Preston, drives into the lane, offensive foul on the screen. We'll give it back to the Gamecocks. Put the foul on Jackalinga Mwenan Tanda. Carolina ball with a chance to reclaim the lead. Tina Paopao will check back in for Breezy Hall. Hall exits with 4 points. 2:08 to play in the half, tied at 33 here in the final four. Edwards to trigger it in the backcourt on the sideline, gets it into Pow Pow, and we're underway. Pow Pow will bring it up, gets it across to Edwards, dribbling to her right. Up top, Tessa Johnson. Tessa on the dribble. To her left, shot clock halfway down. Wants someone to set a screen for her. Can't use it. Tessa driving into the lane right side, off balance shot, no good. Stick back won't go. Edwards fighting for the rebound. Stick back won't go. Jones gets the rebound. Too many shots, too many chances that wouldn't go down. They were well contested by Texas. 1:38 to play in the half. Preston drives, shoots, doesn't score. Gamecocks get the rebound. Outlet to Tessa Johnson. Tessa driving the lane, one girl to beat. Missed as she was blocked by Tunda. Out to Pow Pow, left wing three. Bang! And the Gamecocks lead 36-33. Tahina Pow 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 with her second three ball. She's got 8 points, and the Gamecocks lead 36-33. Big offensive rebound off the miss. Set up Pow Pow for the open look from the left wing. Here come the Longhorns with 1:05 to play in the half. Up top it comes Tunda, guarded by Joyce Edwards. Shot clock down to 10. Trying to drive, spins into the lane, loses the handle, out of bounds. Carolina ball with 57.5 seconds to play. Gamecocks trying to make it a two-possession game. Gamecocks trailed early by 8. They'll get Rory Harmon back in for Texas, their starting point guard. She'll pick up Brianna Preston, the freshman. Triggered into Raven, we're underway. Less than a minute to play in the first half. Edwards will get it across the timeline. Gamecocks settling into their half court here. Tight man-to-man coverage. Joyce hands it off to Tessa. Shot clock halfway down. Tessa on the dribble to her right. Tessa driving into the lane, cut off from the baseline. Kick it to Raven in the corner. Down low, Fagan working against the big girl Jones. Drive, shoots, scores! Sanaya Fagan makes it 38-33. 28 seconds to play in the half. Largest lead for the Gamecocks. Off the bucket from Sanaya Fagan, the senior, with 6 points. Texas can work for the final shot of the half to make it a one-possession game. Gamecocks leading 38-33. Gamecock fans on their feet here. 10 seconds to play. Harmon passes right to Jordan Lee. Lee dribbling left, passes to Harmon in the corner. Jumper from the baseline, no good. Fight for the rebound. Nintendo's got it. Shot was blocked. Stick back, no good, but they're going to get a foul and send them to the line with 1.8 seconds to play. Fagan thought she got a clean block, but apparently not. They put the foul on Joyce Edwards, actually. Second foul on Joyce. Coach Staley didn't like the call. Looked like a clean block from our vantage point, but of course, we're from 200 feet away. Nintendo at the free throw line. She hits the first one, a 77% foul shooter. And that snaps that little 7-0 run by the Gamecocks. We want to get Fulwiley into the contest as Nintendo hits both free throws to make it 38-35. Fulwiley will get in for Raven Johnson. 1.8 seconds to play here in the half. Got to really catch and shoot here. Edwards, long baseball pass down the length of the floor, and that's going to be intercepted by the Longhorns. That's how the first half will end, as the Gamecocks will end it with their 10th turnover of the game. 20 minutes in the book. South Carolina leading Texas here, 38-35. 20 more minutes to decide who's going to the national championship. 3-point lead for the Gamecocks at the break. See if they can find a way to put together 20 more minutes of good basketball. Had a lot of turnovers in that first half, but overcame an 8-point deficit to take a 3-point lead into the locker room. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get you updated on some Gamecock scores and also let you know, get you the first half highlights and stats as well. 38-35, Gamecocks lead Texas here at the intermission. Hey, celebrate 75 years of racing tradition at Darlington Raceway. Secure your seats now for the official throwback weekend of NASCAR, April 5th and 6th at darlingtonraceway.com. This women's basketball postseason broadcast is proudly presented by Deotis on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. The number 1 overall seed, UCLA Bruins. That should be a good one to watch as well. Gamecocks in their white uniforms, the alternate ones with the gold and garnet trim down the side of the uniform. The Longhorns in their burnt orange uniforms with white numbers. Update on some Gamecock scores in other sports. Top of the fourth inning in Starkville. South Carolina has tied it up in the top of the fourth inning at Mississippi State. A 2-run home run by Bo Hollins ties things up at 3 apiece in game one of that 3-game SEC series against Mississippi State. On the softball diamond over at Carolina Softball Stadium at Beckham Field, Gamecocks hosting 19th ranked Ole Miss, and they're going to extra innings there. They are scoreless heading to the top of the 8th inning. So good luck to both of the Gamecock Diamond teams there. We'll keep you updated as this game progresses as well. 20 minutes to decide who's playing for the national championship. Gamecocks making their 7th Final Four appearance since 2015, all under Coach Dawn Staley. The Longhorns making their first Final Four appearance since 2003 and 4th overall. On the floor for the Gamecocks to start the third quarter, the original starting 5, Raven Johnson, Tahina Paopao, Breezy Hall, Chloe Kitts, Sanaya Fagan. It'll be Carolina ball moving right to left towards their own bench to start things. Texas with their original starting 5 out there as well, including Madison Booker, the SEC Player of the Year, who had 3 first-half fouls. Would love to get that 4th foul early in this third quarter if we could against her and get her back on the bench. Waiting for TV to give us permission to play, and here we go. Raven Johnson will bring it up. 20 minutes to decide who's headed to the national championship. Paopao on the right wing. Tight man-to-man coverage from Rory Harmon. Back up top, Chloe Kitts. Around the perimeter near side. Here's Fagan. Back up top to Paopao. Back to Fagan. Shot clock at 13. Cross-court pass to Raven. Feed it inside to Kitts. Gets her man in the air. Had her shot blocked. Kicks it back out with 8 to shoot it. Paopao up top. Near side, Breezy Hall. Left wing 3. Bang! Got it. A 3-0 for Breezy. First of the game. And the Gamecocks with their largest lead at 41-35. Breezy Hall with 7 points. She hits her 44th of the year. Texas looked like they were in a zone that trip for the first time tonight, and Breezy shot around it. Harmon lobs it down low to the big girl. Paopao steps in front and knocks it out of bounds on the help defense, anticipating that post-entry pass. Good defense there from Powell as they're trying to get their big 6'4" post player involved here early. Texas will have it. They'll bring it in baseline right side. They lob it into the top of the circle. Tunda now at the free throw line. They feed it inside. Whistle away from the ball. It's going to be foul on the Gamecocks trying to work through a screen. And they're going to put that foul on Sanaya Fagan. That's 2 on Fagan, first of the second half. And Booker set a screen, and Fagan never saw her and just crashed into her and sent her sprawling. So Booker will bring it in baseline right side for the Longhorns. Shot clock back to 20. Up top to Tunda. Guarded by Chloe Kitts. Back to Booker. Comes around a screen. Pull-up jumper off the rim. No good. Rebound Breezy Hall. And the Gamecocks have it, leading 41-35. Raven across the timeline. Man-to-man defense by Holly as they come out of the zone this trip. Near side, Fagan. Fagan looking. Gives it off to Breezy left side. Guarded by Booker. Breezy dribbling top of the circle. Shot clock down to 10 already. Now to Kitts, top of the circle. Thought about the 18-footer. Steps to her left. Pull-up jumper. Good. Chloe Kitts showing off the mid-range. Just her second bucket. She's got 4. And the Gamecocks have their largest lead of 44-35 with 8:37 to play here in the third quarter. That got the Gamecock fans into it. Here comes Booker driving. Pull up from the right baseline. Got it. And they needed that, did Texas. And that cuts the deficit 44-37. And a timeout taken by Vic Schaefer of the Longhorns. And looks like it's 43-37. I apologize. They may have changed that one of those buckets or just had it on the scoreboard initially wrong. So it is 43-37 as they put it up on the scoreboard wrong, but now it's correct. 43-37 Gamecocks lead. And a timeout, so we'll step aside as well. This women's basketball postseason broadcast proudly presented by Deotis on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. Hops hit both of them. The winner is on to Sunday's national championship at 3 o'clock to take on the winner of the late game. That'll follow us about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game. UConn and UCLA. That should be a good one as well. Gamecocks break their huddle, taking the floor. Raven Johnson, Tahina Paopao, Breezy Hall, Chloe Kitts, Sanaya Fagan. It'll be Carolina ball. They'll have to go the length of the floor. It'll be Raven Johnson to bring it up. And no pressure in the backcourt this time. See if Texas sets up in that zone. First possession of the second half, they set up in a zone and then got out of it after Breezy Hall hit a 3. And it looks like they're, going to go into the zone here. Gamecocks haven't seen a lot of that this year after seeing a ton of that in the years prior when they had an All-American in the post every year. Up top it comes. Now it looks like they pulled out of it. Maybe disguising their defense, trying to fool the Gamecocks, getting them discombobulated. Shot clock down to 7. Breezy Hall pulls up shy of the free throw line. Got it! Breezy off the dribble. Back to an 8-point lead. It's 45-37. Breezy with 9 points. Big bucket there with the shot clock winding down. Here's Madison Booker up top, guarded by Breezy in the man-to-man. Around a screen to her right. Trying to drive at the baseline. Cut off there. Shot knocked out of her hands by Breezy. Goes out of bounds to the Gamecocks. Booker thought Breezy touched it last, but the official right there on the baseline said no, ma'am. So the Gamecocks have it with 7:40 to play in the third, leading 45-37. Raven will bring it up. She'll be met at the timeline by Shea Holly as they match up in their true man-to-man this trip. Raven dribbling right, up top to Pow Pow. Guarded by Rory Harmon. Back to the right to Kitts on the wing. Near the corner to Fagan on the far side. Fagan wants someone to set a screen for her. She'll put it on the floor, drives the baseline, zips it across and threw it away. Terrible pass by Fagan. 11th turnover by the Gamecocks, first of the second half. That one was going nowhere. Here comes Booker the other way. Driving the lane left side, pulls up and got it. And that trims the deficit for Texas, 45-39. Madison Booker in double figures with 11 now. The lead is trimmed to 6. Here's Chloe Kitts up top, dribbling to her left. Guarded by Mwenentunda. Tries to drive, zips it underneath to Raven Johnson. Back out to Fagan. She'll take the 16-footer. Rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound, Karam's out to Kitts. She puts it up and in, and the Gamecocks lead 47-39. Kitts through a sea of arms. Got that one to go. She's got 6 points. Back to an 8-point lead with 6:40 to play in the third quarter. Here come the Longhorns trying to answer. It's Harmon dribbling right around a screen. Passes left to Booker. Dumps it down low underneath the Mwenentunda. Looking for the big girl Jones underneath the basket. Misses the layup. It was well contested by the Gamecocks, and Raven Johnson grabs the rebound. Gamecocks have it. Raven drives in the lane, floats it up. Missed the layup, but there's Kitts with the rebound on the other side. She's knocked to the floor by Mwenentunda. It'll be the third foul on Mwenentunda, and the Gamecocks will have it. Leading by 8 with 6:16 to play in the third. Checking in for the Longhorns, the big 6'6" post player, Kyla Oldacre. She'll pick up Taylor Jones. Raven will bring it in baseline to the right of the basket. Gamecocks leading by 8. Got to hurry to avoid the 5. Goes up top to Fagan. Fagan guarded by Oldacre. Tough to get a pass around those long arms. Shot clock to 15. Up top will reset with Breezy Hall. Breezy guarded by Booker. She'll take a deep 3. Back rimmed it, no good. Rebound Rory Harmon. Not sure that's the shot we were looking for. 6 minutes to play in the third. 8-point lead for the Gamecocks. Texas with the ball. Harmon around a screen. Dribbling right. Bounce pass to the right. Here's Holly. Drives in the lane. Kicks it back out to Mwenentunda on the left wing. Shot clock halfway down. Back to the right to Harmon. Looking for the big girl Oldacre inside. Instead into the corner. Now they feed Oldacre on the block. Shot clock down to 9. Ball ripped out of her hands, but they're going to get a foul on the Gamecocks. Gamecocks doubled down, but they're going to get a foul as they did so. And if that's on Fagan, that'll be 3 on her. Gamecock faithful didn't like it. There's been a couple of questionable calls that didn't go South Carolina's way. Chloe Kitts will come out, as will Raven Johnson. Joyce Edwards and Mylasia Fulwiley check in. They put it on Chloe Kitts, her second. So Texas will have it. They'll bring it in baseline right side. Rory Harmon to do the honors. Looking. Finally gets it in to Jordan Lee. Jordan Lee up fake. Pull-up jumper no good. Edwards had the rebound. It was knocked out of her hands and out of bounds. Carolina ball. They could have had a foul on Booker there. She went through her to knock it out, but they swallowed the whistle. Gamecocks lead still 8. Haven't scored in a minute. Last couple of possessions. 5.5 minutes to play in the third. Here's Pow Pow guarded by Harmon as she dribbles to her right. Up top to Breezy Hall. Breezy with 15 to shoot it, guarded by Booker. Passes left, Fulwiley. Fulwiley, stop and go dribble, tries to go baseline, through the legs dribble. Floats up a little hook, no good. Fight for the rebound. Harmon comes out of there with it. Gamecocks missing their opportunities to try to pull away here. Missing some close range shots that have been well contested. Harmon goes down low to the big girl Oldacre. Back to Harmon. Back inside, ball knocked free. Oh, and they're going to get Fagan for a foul. Fagan will pick up her third, trying to deny the post-entry pass. May have had a grip of the jersey with the backhand because she was fronting Oldacre with the left hand. Must have got her with the right. Fagan's going to have to come out. Miriam Dowda will check in for the first time since the first quarter when she picked up 2 fouls. 5:02 to play in the third. Gamecocks lead still 8. Longhorns will bring it in baseline right side. Harmon got to hurry to avoid the 5. Gets it into Oldacre right corner. Gets it back on the dribble now to the right wing. Harmon around a screen to her left. Pulls up from the foul line and buries the 15-footer. And the lead is trimmed to 6 at 47-41. Harmon with 6 points now. Gamecocks need a bucket. They haven't scored in a while. Texas trying to get some momentum back. Joyce Edwards across the timeline, guarded closely by Mwenentanda. In the man-to-man, around a screen to her left, drives into the lane. It opens for her, and she finishes. They never stop the dribble. The lead back up to 8. Edwards with 10 points. 4.5 minutes to play in the third. Here comes Harmon, spinning in the paint. Gamecocks try to stay with her. Pulls up from the baseline. Rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound, Joyce Edwards. Outlet to Tahina Paopao. Paopao races across the timeline, dribbling to her right into the lane. Kicks it back out to Joyce left side. We'll slow things down now. 8-point lead for the Gamecocks, matching our largest of the evening with 4:08 to play in the third. Shot clock down to 15. Here's Paopao between the rings, guarded by Harmon. Comes around a screen from Dowda to her right, guarded by Harmon. Lost the dribble, needs some help, able to get it going again. Spinning into the lane, pull-up jumper, left it short, but a foul will send her to the free throw line. When we come back, 3:55 to play in the third quarter. South Carolina looking to extend its 8-point lead. It's 49-41 here in the national semifinal. We'll take a timeout and be back in just a moment. Parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. This women's basketball postseason broadcasting for a 4th time here in the Final Four. The winner moves on to Sunday's championship game to take on the winner of the late game between UConn and UCLA. Gamecocks matching their largest lead of 8 points. Haven't just been able to get over the hump. A little dry spot a couple of times when they've had chances to take double-digit leads. On the floor for the Gamecocks, Tahina Paopao, Malaysia Fulwiley, Joyce Edwards, Miriam Dowda, and Breezy Hall. It'll be Paopao at the free throw line. She was fouled before that media timeout. Paopao with 8 points so far on the evening. The senior from Oceanside, California. Dips, shoots, and hits the first one. A 75% foul shooter. And that extends the lead 50-41 with 3:55 to play here in the third. Second free throw rattles out, no good, and the rebound to Texas. So Gamecocks lead holding at 9, but a steal by Paopao in the backcourt, and she'll lay it up and in. Just took it away, and the Gamecocks have their largest lead at 52-41. Paopao with 11 points to lead the squad now. 3:38 to play in the third quarter. Here's Booker, pull up from the left side, won't go down, fight for the rebound. It's loose on the floor. Paopao comes out of there with it. She's everywhere. Paopao across the timeline. Works it to Dowda right side. Dowda getting a lot of good minutes today. Feeds it right side to Joyce Edwards. Trying to drive the baseline, and she's bumped by Mwenentanda, and that's 4 on Mwenentanda. 3:20 to play in the third. Gamecocks looking to add to an 11-point lead. That's the second team foul on the Longhorns with 3:20 to play in the quarter. Mwenentanda out now. Brianna Preston, the freshman guard, checks in. Gamecocks get Paopao and Breezy Hall out. Raven Johnson, Malaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson, Miriam Dowda, Joyce Edwards on the floor. Up top it comes to Joyce, guarded by Booker. Joyce trying to drive, spins to her left, puts it off the window, too strong. Rebound, ping-ponging around under there, and big Oldacre comes out of there with it. The 6'6 post. Here come the Longhorns the other way. Booker, top of the circle, dribbling back to her right around a screen. Passes to Harmon, quick entry pass to Preston. Back out to Harmon. Top of the circle, shot clock halfway down. We're under 3 minutes to play in the third. Gamecocks lead is 11 over Texas. Harmon dribbling to her right, shot clock down to 10. Bounce pass to the right, whistle away from the ball, and a foul on Malaysia Fulwiley. What is that? It was away from the ball, so didn't see what she did, but it must have been a grab or something, but that seems a little ticky-tack at this point. And it'll be Texas ball. They'll bring it in baseline right side. That's the 4th team foul in the Gamecocks. Last to give before the bonus. For Fulwiley, her first foul. Preston will bring it in to the right of the basket once the officials give Coach Dawn Staley a satisfactory answer. And based on the expression on her face, I don't think she's satisfied with that answer. Still waiting for the officials to restart the game here. And finally, here we go. They'll bring it in baseline right side. What is going on? Give her the ball, please, woman. Yes, there we go. Preston looking to trigger it in. No one guarding the inbound. Got to hurry to avoid the 5 count. Able to get it in up top to Harmon. That was about 4.5. Harmon up top, around the screen to her right from Oldacre. Zips it across left side. Preston into the corner to Booker. Pull-up jumper from the baseline. Air ball. Rebound Miriam Dowda, and the Gamecocks have it. Leading 52-41 with 2:35 to play in the third. Still a long way to go. Here's Raven up top, across the Final Four logo. Tight man-to-man coverage from Harmon. Dribbling right, Raven Johnson, shot clock halfway down. Entry pass knocked away. Bad pass by Raven, stolen away by the Longhorns. Here comes Booker the other way. Booker will slow things down now. Top of the circle, dribbling left, guarded by Tessa Johnson. Drives left, gets it out to Harmon on the corner. Pull-up jumper, air ball, rebound Joyce Edwards. Joyce wants to run. Driving, got Booker in front of her. Drives into the lane, rolls it up and in. Booker didn't want to pick up her 4th foul. And Edwards just blew past her, and the Gamecocks lead 54-41 as the big freshman goes coast to coast. And a timeout taken by Coach Vic Schaefer of the Longhorns. Gamecock fans on their feet. They've got their largest lead of 13 points after trailing by as many as 8 points in the first quarter. We'll keep it right here with 1:53 to play in the third. Gamecocks lead at 54-41. What does farm to table mean to you, Gamecock fans? Well, thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy locally grown food at any table, including tailgates. Visit CertifiedSC.com. It's a matter of taste. And get you updated on some Gamecock scores. Gamecock softball in extra innings knocks off 19th-ranked Ole Miss 1-0. A walk-off walk with the bases loaded gives the Gamecocks the game-winning run as they pick up their 29th win of the year, 29-7 on the season to take game 1 of that 3-game series against the Ole Miss Rebels. Gamecock baseball playing in Starkville against Mississippi State. They're still tied at 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Here, 1:53 to play in the third. Gamecocks leading Texas 54-41. Texas will have it. They'll have to go inbound in front of their own bench. Gamecocks with Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson, Raven Johnson, Miriam Dowda, Joyce Edwards on the floor. Booker will trigger it in front of their bench. Looks like they're wiping some blood off of the jersey of one of the Texas players there in front of the bench. The athletic trainer wearing a highlighter pink outfit. You can see her with the lights out. I believe that's Jordan Lee that they're addressing the uniform. And we'll get this thing started. Booker will trigger it in near the Texas bench across the way. The Gamecocks cheer among the South Carolina faithful, and now they've got to attend to Joyce Edwards, who apparently has some blood on her elbow. And so they'll clean her up. And they'll give her a few seconds to do that so she can stay into the game, as athletic trainer Craig Oates will just put some wrap around it. And she's back in there. 1:53 to play in the third. Gamecocks leading at 54-41. Gamecocks on a little 7-0 run here. Longhorns have it up top. Here's Harmon. Around a screen from Preston. Passes left. Good open look for Jordan Lee for 3. Missed it short. And the Gamecocks get the rebound. Raven Johnson comes out of there with it. Lee had a good look at it. She had 10 first half points as we left her open a few times, and she couldn't knock that one down. Gamecocks look to extend the lead. Up top is Fulwiley. Shot clock down to 15. Feed it to Tessa Johnson in the lane. Pull-up jumper. Got it! Tessa Johnson with the bucket. She's got 4. It's a 9-0 run, and the Gamecocks lead 56-41. 1:21 to play in the third. Here comes Preston, driving right side as they run their weave up top. Work it to Harmon, dribbling right on Fulwiley. Had the ball knocked out of her hands, but she recovers. Back to Preston, driving in the lane. Floater is up, no good. Rebound Raven, and the Gamecocks have it. Trying to get the running game going. Outlet to Fulwiley. Fulwiley splits a couple of defenders. Teardrop is an air ball, but a rebound by Joyce. She'll kick it out to Tessa in the corner. Tessa on the drive into the lane. Pull up from 12. Rolls in for 2 more. And the Gamecocks lead 58-41. It's an 11-0 run with 51 seconds to play in the third quarter. Gamecocks have outscored the Longhorns here 20-6 in the third period. 43 seconds to play in the third. Here come the Longhorns. Preston dribbling right. Bounce pass knocked away by Tessa and out of bounds into the baseline. It'll remain with the Longhorns. 17-point lead with 37.4 seconds to play. Still in the third quarter, however. Preston will bring it in baseline left side. Gets it in up top. Lee steps back into a three-pointer and buries it. For some reason, Jordan Lee has found herself wide open several times tonight. That ends that 11-0 run to make it 58-44. 27 seconds to play in the third. We beat their pressure with a couple of passes. Lee with 13 points on her second three-pointer. Their best perimeter shooter, and we've left her open all day. 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Gamecocks can work for the final shot. Tessa dribbling right, looks back to Coach Staley. Fulwiley trying to get free, but Harmon wearing her out. 5 seconds to play. Tessa driving in the paint. Pull up from the right elbow. No good. Rebound to Texas, and that's how the third quarter will end. Gamecocks with a double-digit lead as we head to the fourth quarter. South Carolina leading Texas 58-44. 30 minutes in the books. Final frame coming up after this. The winner on to the national championship. This women's basketball postseason broadcast is proudly presented by Toyotas on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. From the free throw line. Gamecocks with the edge rebounding 29-18. See if the Gamecocks can find a way to keep up the momentum here in the fourth quarter after they outscored the Longhorns 20-9 in that explosive third quarter. If you're just joining us, South Carolina trailed early in the first quarter by 8 points. Update on some other Gamecock sports. As we told you, Gamecock softball wins in extra innings in game one of their series at home against 19th-ranked Ole Miss. They win it 1-0 in 8 innings. A walk-off walk in the bottom of the 8th gives the Gamecocks the win in game one. Carolina baseball playing in Starkville at Mississippi State, and they are still tied at 3 in the top of the 6th inning there. Bo Hollins with a 2-run home run for the Gamecocks to tie things up a couple of innings ago. But here, got a good one here. Fourth meeting between these two schools this year. Texas playing in their first year in the SEC. They met twice during the regular season. They were the only SEC team that the Gamecocks had to play twice during the regular season. And then met again in the SEC Tournament Championship. Each team winning on their home floor before the Gamecocks won in Greenville in the SEC Tournament Championship game. See if the Gamecocks can find a way to make it 3 out of 4. On the floor for Carolina to start the fourth quarter, it's Tahina Paopao, Malaysia Fulwiley, Breezy Hall, Chloe Kitts, and Sanaya Fagan. It'll be Texas ball to start the fourth, moving left to right in their burnt orange. Gamecocks in their alternate home whites with the golden garnet trim down the side, the homage to khaki as some people call it. Texas ball. Looks like they've got most of their starting 5. Oldacre's in there instead of Taylor Jones, and we're underway. Harmon will bring it across the timeline, guarded by Fulwiley. 10 minutes to decide who's headed to the national championship. They run their weave up top through the Longhorns. Booker around a screen. Oh, goodness, Breezy Hall blasted to the floor. Entry pass to Oldacre. The big post player spin shoots and wedges the ball underneath between the rim and the backboard, and that'll be a jump ball. And the possession error will favor the Gamecocks. Fulwiley went up and knocked it free. Didn't need to get a broom out to knock it down as Fulwiley's got the hops. So the Gamecocks have it, leading by 14. Pressure in the backcourt. Someone's got to come back to the basketball and help Kitts out. Able to get it to Paopao as she was in a double team. Kitts will get it across the timeline. Carolina will settle into their half court. Kitts left side, up top now to Fagan. Fagan looking inside. Zips it right side to Paopao. Paopao wants 3 from the right wing, and she airballed it. Kitts couldn't save it from going out of bounds. You don't see that from Powell too often. Prior to that, she had hit all 4 of her shots tonight, including 2 from distance, and she got nothing on that one. So the lead still 58-44 with 9:20 to play in the contest. Texas with the basketball moving left to right. Here's Booker up top, guarded by Breezy. Dribbling right. Passes left to Mwenentanda, who's in there with 4 fouls. Drives in the lane on Kitts. Pull-up jumper, no good, but a late whistle and a foul on Chloe Kitts. That is 3 on Kitts, and not what you want to do. Allow them to score with the clock not moving. We'll send them to the free throw line. Third foul, first of the fourth quarter on the Gamecocks. Mwenentanda was being aggressive, and let's just say Kitts didn't get her money's worth on that one. Must have got her with the long eyelashes. Mwenentanda at the free throw line hits the first one. Mwenentanda, 77% foul shooter. Missed the second one, but Oldacre, the 6'6 post, got the rebound. Fagan knocked it out of her hands. It goes out of bounds to Carolina. Good job by Fagan. So the Gamecocks lead is trimmed again, 58-45, but it could have been worse. We get it into Pow. Gamecocks need a bucket here to try to get some momentum back. Leading by 13. Largest lead was 17 after trailing by 8 points in the first quarter. Here's Kitts. Work it right side to Pow. Up top to Fagan. Now left side, Fulwiley, 15 to shoot it. Would like to see someone drive to the basket. Right side, here's Pow. She'll drive the baseline. Had the ball knocked out of her hands, but a late whistle and a foul. Boy, that was a late whistle. Coach Vic Schaefer can't believe it. The Gamecocks will take it. Gamecocks will have it on the foul. They put it on Oldacre, her first. Pow to bring it in to the left of the basket on the baseline. Got to hurry. Gets it up top to Breezy, and we're underway. Texas really aggressive with their defense. Hand off to Pow. She'll settle into the half court. Shot clock at 13. Guarded by Harmon near the timeline. Tries to come around a screen to her right. On the give and go to Fagan. One dribble. Puts it off the window. Blew the layup. And Harmon with the rebound. And that is one Fagan has got to finish. And she would finish that 9 times out of 10. Lee wide open from the corner, and she buries another three. I am not sure how Jordan Lee, their best perimeter shooter, continues to get open. But that cuts the lead down to 10. At 58-48, her third three-pointer. Here's Pow right wing. She's got a good look at a three. Bang! Got it. Big answer by Tahina. Pow. Her third three-pointer gives her 14 points. That gets the Gamecock fans back in it. It's 61-48. Gamecocks in front. Here's Harmon left side. Guarded by Fulwiley. Comes around a screen. Looking for the pick and roll. Can't use it. Shot clock at 13. Bounce past the big Oldacre. Trying to make her way in on Fagan. Jumper up and no good. Out of bounds off of Fagan. It'll remain with Texas. But goodness, Jordan Lee was 16 points today for the Longhorns. Again, she had 4 points combined in the 3 meetings before that. But the Gamecocks, because they rightfully so are so concerned with the inside of Texas, Jordan Lee on some good ball movement by Texas has been left wide open on the perimeter. And to her credit, she's knocked down her shot, 6 out of 10 overall. Raven will bring it in baseline left, or rather Harmon will bring it in baseline left side for the Longhorns, and we're underway. Gamecocks lead is 13 with 7:38 to play here in the national semifinal. Here's Muenentanda trying to drive in the lane on Raven. Spins to her right, back to her left. Went up and down with it and got away with it. No, she didn't. They're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Longhorns. 7:29 to play. We'll get Joyce Edwards back in. She'll pick up Fagan. Booker will bring it in baseline left side for the Longhorns. Gamecocks led by as many as 17. It's 13 now. Up top to Muenentanda, guarded by Edwards. Shot clock down to 5. Feed it inside to Oldacre. Oh, and a foul with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. You hate that. They fed the low post with the big girl Oldacre, and they got a foul on Chloe Kitts, and that's 4 on Kitt. She's going to have to come out. They'll get Dowda back into the contest. That's a tough assignment for Kitts, not just height-wise, by girth-wise. Fans in Columbia or in South Carolina know how Chloe is built. Oldacre, a lot bigger. Size and girth. Harmon will bring it in to the left of the basket on the baseline. Gets it into Holly. Pull-up jumper, left it short. Rebound, Raven, and the Gamecocks have it. 7:20 to play. Gamecocks lead is 13 at 61-48. Raven will get it across, guarded closely by Rory Harmon. Bumped but no foul as she crosses the timeline. Whistle away from the ball, and Coach Dawn Staley is going to burn a timeout. 7:10 to play here in the national semifinal. South Carolina leads Texas 61-48. Timeout on the floor, we'll step aside. This women's basketball postseason broadcast is proudly presented by Deotis on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. SEC Tournament Championship. The winner gets the winner of the late matchup tonight on Sunday in the national championship game at 3 o'clock. And you'll have UConn and UCLA going head-to-head about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Update on Carolina baseball. Going to the bottom of the 6th in Starkville. South Carolina now leading Mississippi State 5-3 after trailing early in that one 3-1. Gamecock softball a winner at home today in 8 innings over 19th-ranked Ole Miss 1-0. On the floor for the Gamecocks, Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson, Breezy Hall, Miriam Dowda, Joyce Edwards. Kitts on the bench with 4 fouls. Fagan's got 3. Gamecocks will bring it in. in the forecourt. Get it in the backcourt to Raven, and we're underway. Tight man-to-man coverage by Shea Holly as Raven gets it across. Shot clock down to 12. Here's Edwards driving the lane right side. Puts a shot up, no good, but a foul on Kyla Oldacre will send her to the line. Looked like Oldacre was going to get a chance to block her shot, the big 6'6" post, and Joyce was able to alter her shot a little bit and draw the contact. It's a good aggressive drive to the basket by Joyce, who seems to have snapped out of that postseason slump that she had. It has been tremendous for the Gamecocks off the bench tonight, more of what we're accustomed to seeing, and right on cue I jinxed her as she missed the free throw. Sorry, Joyce. Joyce now 4 out of 5 from the line tonight. Normally very, very good at 78%. See if she can hit 1 out of 2. And she does. And the lead is 62-48 with 7 minutes to play. Rory Harmon quickly across the timeline for Texas. Dribbling to her right. Picked up by Raven Johnson. Back up top to Shea Holly, a good perimeter shooter as well. Passes left to Booker. Booker pull up just inside the foul line. In and out, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Joyce Edwards takes it away from the big 6'6", Kyla Oldacre. Good fight there for the freshman Edwards. Gamecocks will get it across, leading by 14. They'll settle into their half court. Joyce will hand it back to Raven. Shot clock already halfway down. Now back to the left to Joyce Edwards. Gamecocks being a little deliberate here. Shot clock under 10. Hand it off to Raven. Shot clock down to 5. Got to do something with it. Raven, stop and go. Finds Breezy Hall driving the baseline. Lays it up and in. Lulled them to sleep, and Breezy got the layup on the baseline. 64-48 Gamecocks with 6:09 to play. Great look from Raven. 11 points for Breezy Hall tonight. Here's Mwenentanda driving in the lane with the left hand. Kicks it back out to Rory Harmon. Shot clock already down to 15. They run their weave. Here's Holly in the lane. Cut off at the foul line. Entry pass to Oldacre. Guarded by Dowda. Spins to her left. Hook shot up and in. And that trims the lead 64-50 as Oldacre uses her size well. She's got 4 points. 5:40 to play in this one. Gamecocks going to work some clock again. The lead down to 15. Or 14, I should say. 64-50. Tessa Johnson bumped out of bounds by Shea Holly on the other side. Ball will remain with the Gamecocks. First personal on Holly. Third team foul. As they'll get Taylor Jones back in. Oldacre out for the Longhorns. Booker out as well. Jordan Lee in there as well for Texas. Raven to bring it in on the far sideline. Gets it into Joyce on the far corner. Joyce working against Mwenentanda, who's in there with 4 fouls. Shot clock at 13. Joyce left-handed dribble, zips it into the near corner to Raven. Raven on the dribble, pulls up from 15, got it! Raven Johnson with her first points on just her 4th shot. She was 0 for 3, but a big shot off the bounce there pushes the lead back up to 16 with 5:12 to play in the contest. Raven Johnson, big spot to knock one down. Here's Mwenentanda, feeds it inside. You're going to get a foul on Dowda, who is wrestling with Taylor Jones. That's the 4th team foul. Last to give before the bonus, and you don't want to allow them to take shots with the clock not moving, so need to get the defense going, get a few stops here. Lead is 16 with 5:03 to play. Longhorns will bring it in, baseline left side. Jordan Lee to do the honors. Gets it into Rory Harmon on the baseline. Her jumper is good. Quick trigger on that release, and the lead is trimmed 66-52. Harmon is so tough, one of the best point guards in the nation. She's got 8 points. Raven across the timeline with it. We're midway through this 4th quarter. Gamecocks with a 14-point lead. Here's Joyce Edwards up top. Feeds it right side. Tessa for 3. Bang! Got it! Tournament Tessa with her first 3-pointer of the night. Gives her 9 points, her 44th of the year, and the Gamecocks lead 69-52, matching their largest lead of the game with 4:30 to go. Here's Harmon, top of the circle. Bounce pass to the left. Up top to Harmon. Back to the right to Jordan Lee. Guarded by Breezy Hall. Shot clock at 13. Harmon with 10 to shoot it. Passes left. 3-ball Jordan Lee. Left it short. Rebound Tessa, and the Gamecocks have it. 4:13 to play. Gamecocks lead Texas 69-52. Carolina will try to work some clock here as they've done the last few possessions. Would like to continue tacking on points as well. Shot clock down to 13. Raven dribbling around a screen to her right. Gets it to Joyce Edwards. Edwards spins in the paint. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound, Rory Harmon. Did everything but finish. Did Joyce Edwards. Here's Harmon the other way. Gets it off to Jordan Lee. Lee driving the lane right side on Tessa. Spins to her left. Pull-up jumper left short. Jones with the rebound underneath. Shot blocked. Ripped away by Breezy Hall, and the Gamecocks have it. 3.5 minutes to play in the game. Gamecocks lead 69-52, trying to get back to the national championship game for the fourth time and second year in a row. 3:25 to go. Raven drives in the lane. Pull-up jumper rolls off the rim, no good. And a rebound to the Longhorns. Gamecocks missing a couple of opportunities. Here's Holly, left corner. Back out to Mwen and Tonda. 3:13 to play here in the national semifinal. Rory Harmon up top, guarded by Raven. Bounce pass to the right, and a timeout taken by Vic Schaefer. 3:07 to play. Gamecocks lead at 69-52. Trying to hold on and get to the national championship game. Timeout taken by the Longhorns. They have one remaining. We'll keep it right here. Update, Gamecock baseball still leading Mississippi State 5-3 in the bottom of the sixth. Softball a winner today at home in 8 innings, 1-0 over 19th-ranked Ole Miss. Both teams will continue those series tomorrow. Here, the Gamecocks hoping to live another day, trying to get to the national championship game Sunday against the winner of the late game between UConn and UCLA. Can they hold on for 3:07? It'll be Texas ball. They'll bring it in front of their own bench. Lee, guarded by Tessa Johnson, gets it into Brianna Preston. Guarded by Fulwiley in the man-to-man. Dribbling left, passes left to Jordan Lee. Entry pass to Taylor Jones coming out of the paint. Spins to her right. Shot blocked by Sanaya Fagan. Pow Pow collects the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it with under 3 minutes to play. Here's Fulwiley. Drives across the baseline. Behind the back pass. Fumbled, but Pow Pow recovers. She'll pull it back out as the Gamecocks will work some clock. 2:45 to play. Gamecocks trying to get back to the national championship game. Leading by 17 after trailing by 8 and a bumping foul on Brianna Preston. Fourth team foul on the Longhorns, last to give before the bonus. Preston will pick up her third. Gamecocks will bring it in across the way on the sideline. Pow Pow to trigger it in, guarded by Preston. Someone's got to come back to the basketball, please. Get it into Edwards. Edwards will drive the baseline. Little Euro step, had her shot blocked. It goes out of bounds off the Longhorns. Carolina ball. Justice Carlton is in there for the Longhorns for the first time. The freshman from Katy, Texas. Just 2:36 to play. Fagan will bring it in to the right of the basket on the baseline. Gets it into Edwards. Back out to Tessa, right wing. 13 to shoot it. Tessa puts it on the floor. Kick it out to Fulwiley. NBA range three. Back rimmed it no good. Rebound to Texas with 2:25 to play. Here comes Preston quickly across the timeline. Drives in the lane left side. Cut off there by Joyce Edwards on the switch. Back up top, here's Holly. Drives in the lane. Pull-up jumper blocked by Fulwiley. Jones with the rebound. Stick back won't go. Rebound Fagan, and the Gamecocks have it. Can really work some more clock here and put this game in their back pocket. 2:05 to play. Gamecock fans on their feet. Carolina leading Texas by 17 points here in the national semifinal. Gamecocks will let the shot clock tick down as much as they can. Tessa Johnson has it up top. Guarded by Holly. So put it on the floor. Drives in the lane. Scoop shot up and in. And they're going to count it. They're going to call an offensive foul on Tessa. Tough break there. Thought we were going to have an and one. That would have brought the house down. But instead, Tessa called for the offensive foul. That gives it back. Crowd doesn't like it. 50-50 call there. Texas with the ball. Just 1:45 to play. Carolina leads by 17. Bounce pass to the right to Carlton. Guarded by Edwards. Drives in the lane. Shot blocked, partially blocked by Joyce. Rebound Fagan, and the Gamecocks have it. 90 seconds away from another appearance in the national championship. Gamecocks bouncing back after a tough first quarter. They had 10 turnovers in the first half, just 3 here in the second half. 1:20 to play. 17-point lead for the Gamecocks. Here's Tessa dribbling left. In the corner to Fagan. Whistle away from the ball and a timeout by Dawn Staley so she can get some bench players in. Looks like Vic Schaefer's thrown the white flag in with some of the players he's put in, and Coach Dawn Staley's going to do the same. Adele Tack will check in, the freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas, along with freshman Maddie McDaniel from Upper Maryland. And the upperclassmen get hugs as they come to the bench. Gamecocks 1:14 away from getting back to the national championship. Dowda in, Joyce Edwards out. What a game for Joyce Edwards after some struggles here in the postseason. She was marvelous tonight. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Carolina ball with 8 to shoot it. We'll bring it in the corner in front of the Carolina bench. It'll be Tessa Johnson to bring it in. Codio doing jumping jacks in front of her. Get it into Mouse, Maddie McDaniel, 5 to shoot it. Mouse spins in the lane, hands it off to Adele Tax, fumbles, recovers, shoots, doesn't score, fights for the rebound, but the shot clock went off. Is the basket going to count? Yeah, it did count. Okay. Basket will count. Or did it or not? Yeah, it did. 71-52. Adele Tack gets her first points as she beat the buzzer, apparently. Gamecocks lead 71-52. Good stick-to-itiveness there for Adele. 44 seconds away from a berth in the national championship. Preston will drive the lane and get the layup to make it 71-54, but it's not going to matter. Gamecocks will get it across the timeline. They'll have to shoot it. About 11-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Fulwiley, stop-and-go dribble. Trying to drive into the lane. Kicks it out to Dowda near corner. She's going to try a three. Bang! Got it! Three-pointer for Miriam Dowda. Her 6th of the year, and the Gamecocks have a 20-point lead. 23 seconds away from a berth in the national championship. The Gamecocks dominate Texas in the second half. They are headed back to the national championship. 3 ball from the left corner is good for Jordan Cordio, just her 3rd of the year, to make it 74-57. 9 seconds to play. Gamecocks will dribble out the clock. A dominant second half sends South Carolina to the national championship game. Spurs up. Gamecocks take down the Texas Longhorns 74-57 and will play Sunday in the national championship for the 2nd consecutive year and the 4th time in program history. Gamecocks improved to 35-3. Texas ends their season at 35-4 as the Gamecocks win 3 out of 4 from the Longhorns. We'll take a timeout and start our wrap-up after this. This women's basketball postseason broadcast proudly presented by Deotis on the Gamecock Sports Network from their... And we welcome you back to Amalie Arena in Tampa. The Gamecocks are headed back to the national championship game for the 2nd consecutive year and the 4th time in program history as they knock off the Texas Longhorns tonight in the semifinals, 74-57, winning 3 out of 4 against the Longhorns. And the big one here on the biggest stage, a dominant second half for the Gamecocks after trailing by as many as 8 points in the first quarter. The Gamecocks rallied to take a 3-point lead at halftime, then outscored the Longhorns 20-9 in the third quarter and kept them at arm's length the rest of the way, winning it 74-57. We welcome you into the post-game locker room report driven by Jim Hudson Automotive. Won't be able to have our coaches interview brought to you by Jim Hudson Automotive due to where we are located here in the upper deck, if you will, so no chance for a coach to make it up here. But we'll go ahead and run through the final stats in the contest. Gamecocks shot it very well. 29 out of 57 for 51%. Hit 7 out of 11 from three-point range for 64%. And from the free throw line, 9 out of 12. Gamecocks also did a nice job on the boards against a much bigger Texas team. The Gamecocks out-rebound the Longhorns tonight, 36-28. Turnovers, the Gamecocks had 10 turnovers in the first half, averaging only 12 per game. Had just 3 turnovers in the second half. One of them was that late offensive foul called on Tessa Johnson. So the Gamecocks made some terrific adjustments, taking care of the basketball in the second half, and that was one of the difference in the game. The Gamecocks also got 35 points from the bench and 40 points in the paint against this big Texas team. Texas, 22 out of 55 from the floor for 40%. They were 4 out of 10 from distance for 40%. Also 9 out of 12 from the foul line for 75%. Leading scorers in the contest, first for Texas, led by Jordan Lee with 16 points. Hit 6 out of 12 shots and 3 3-pointers. 11 points for Madison Booker, but most of them came early in the first quarter, and the Gamecocks, like they've done all season, really kept her in check most of the game. 8 points for Rory Harmon to go along with 7 rebounds for the tiny point guard.